Hi there guys, Richard here from the Leather Repair Company and the Detailing Summit. This is Chris here from Skunkworks Car Care, and we've had the world's first detailing summit this week. Obviously today's Thursday, so we've been on like motorcycle detailing and we're doing a bit more PPF, we've done ceramics. Tomorrow is leather. Sadly for him, he's not going to be here. We're going to get the tissues out because I know he really wanted to do the leather. He really did. So this is Chris. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Hi, I'm Chris from Skunkworks Car Care. We're based in Runcorn. Detailing is our game. Saw the summit, detailing summit advertised. We saw that it was the first one that was advertised ever in the world. It's always a challenge for someone to organise, and it's also a challenge for people to attend. You don't know what you're going to get from the day. You don't know who you're going to meet. I just saw it as an opportunity. Let's have a break from the correction and coatings and pop along to Hull for the week.
Yeah, why not? So yeah, I mean, it's a lovely city anyway. So I mean, have you enjoyed it? That's the main thing. And did you learn things from it?
I've met what are probably the nicest bunch of people you could ever meet together with that common interest.
That common interest, yeah.
And in terms of learning, you always learn. You've no idea. I've picked up several, I'll call them snippets, they're almost nuggets to us for things that we've learned this week that I didn't know. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we were.
Yeah, we all learn.
Yeah. I spent the first day demoing some products from Flex and 3D. Again, even though I was demoing the products, I was still picking up tips from people who heard the questions were asked that got me thinking in a slightly different way. Yesterday, very important piece that was done on mental health.
Yes, yeah.
It's a very lonely game in the detailing industry. You're spending that much time. You end up talking to the machines, talking to the paints, talking to the products. Yep. It's nice to be able to open up to people. We listen to some interesting, in some occasions upsetting stories, but understanding that we're not all in that. We are all in that same boat.
Yeah, we are literally all in that same boat. And like you say, most people that are detailers do work on their own, and this is why we wanted to introduce, because the mental health is quite important to me. It's something I'm very passionate about, and it's why I wanted to introduce it into the summits. There are people out there that want help, and they're nervous to reach out to grab that, and we wanted to bring it to them, and that's why none of that was recorded, because like we said, what happened in that room stayed in that room. It's private between all of the 27 people that were in there. It's private, it stays there, and it doesn't go any further, and that's why we didn't record it, and we recorded everything else.
You had mentioned different people cope in different ways, and I think some of the coping mechanisms for people are to just sit and listen.
Yes.
It sometimes can be enough that just being in that same boat,
exactly.
That is your way of coping. So
exactly.
We thank you for that, because it's not something that's covered off a lot in a lot of seminars, workshops or training that you go to. Today we had you'd mentioned about the motorcycle detailing.
Yes.
I ride a bike, I've got a bike, I've detailed bikes on many occasions. I've picked up an absolute snippet on that, and these are some of the extra tools that you can use while you're detailing a bike.
Exactly.
I was speaking to Adam, who's done that training.
I can say the little tools and things he was talking about was absolutely phenomenal, wasn't it? So I mean, that was quite an insight for me as well. So I mean, it's quite handy to have these things. I mean, it's like that's the first time that Adam's done something like this as well. So I mean, for a lot of people, it's the first time ever for things that they've done. Like, Olivia with 3D is phenomenal. She was very nervous. She's telling me I'm not a public speaker, but she absolutely nailed it. So hats off to the girl.
Olivia practiced that presentation on a 5-hour drive up here, apparently.
She said
she might have looked a bit mad in the van coming up from Devon talking to herself, but she smashed it. Again, it sounds like I'm promoting 3D and Flex. I just happen to have those to hand this week, and they're phenomenal performance. I've been able to introduce some different techniques for people using those particular products.
Especially the little light gadget, but they can contact you about that if they want to get a light.
There are some 3D printed tools that aren't on the market, and I just happen to have someone that we work with that produces 3D detailing products. He's called Tempers Precision. He produces them on demand. So I'm trying now to think of things I don't need but I'd like that he can actually produce for us.
So I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
So, I have enjoyed it, and I think you'd mentioned I'm absolutely gutted that I can't do the leather tomorrow. I do have a prior engagement, but having seen your courses, I'm certainly keen on looking at
that's good.
going to one of those courses.
And hopefully, if we do, we're going to be doing the one in September in Portugal, and hopefully, you can come along to that as well and be there. That'd be amazing.
I did want to speak to you about getting on the Colorado one. You will need some support demo in the products, won't you? So I'm your man. I'm your man, Richard.
There you go.
If I can thank Richard ever so much, because it must be the first time I've ever had someone who's not as tall as me.
That's it. Cheers,
Thanks
guys.
everyone. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.